So today's submission is something that I feel like I have a lot of grounds to actually be able to give advice about. It says, "Hello, Rackrave. I want to talk about how useless I feel. And like, no matter what I do, I can't do anything right. It feels like whenever I try something, I just fail. And people judge me. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why I feel like this. But I felt like this for years. Am I just useless or what? Also, wanted to talk about how I just feel empty no matter what I do or accomplish. I don't feel anything." And I'll tell you right now, I've been there. I think most people in life have been where you're at some point. And I have good news for you. Like no one really cares, honestly. Like no one really cares that much about you. They're all thinking about themselves. That's something I learned kind of late. It's something that really got solidified in my head as I started to do YouTube. I was fucking up captions. I was forgetting quotation marks. I was making these small mistakes and even sometimes pretty large mistakes in my videos. And like no one really cared. They were like, "Oh, this is like whatever. Like, oh, you made a mistake here," and then that's it. Like, they don't complain about it. They're like, "Hey, look at this." So for the most part, people don't give a fuck about your life. And if for some reason they do care about the mistakes you make in your own life, in your own time, they're gonna forget in like a day. It's a lot easier said than done, obviously, but you shouldn't really care about what other people think of you and the mistakes you make, because at the end of the day, like, you're not going to get anywhere without making mistakes, right? Like, that's the whole human experience: making mistakes, learning from them, and figuring out what to do when confronted with that same situation later on in the future. That's literally the whole fucking cycle of life until you die. So let yourself make those mistakes. Don't feel bad about making those mistakes, because that's just growth. That's just a sign of growth. And just because you make these mistakes, don't let that make you think that you're useless. Nobody's useless in the world. Like literally nobody. Even the really bad people, like murderers and shit, like they're not useless. They're contributing to some butterfly effect, be it negative or positive. Like, everyone is contributing some use to the world, be it like the smallest little thing ever to fucking some dude making the cure to cancer. Like, everyone's gonna have their use, niche or not. Do you have to know what your use or purpose is? Like, not really, but we all have one, even if you don't recognize it. And with the information you gave me, this is something I struggled with. I feel like you've let yourself get into your own head about all this shit. I did the same thing years ago, especially when I was starting my YouTube channel, to where you feel so used to being useless that any and all accomplishments that you make feel like nothing. And this is something I still do struggle with, but at least, I can recognize it and be like, hey, I do things with my life. I'm not saying you have to have a fucking YouTube channel with 100,000 subs or anything. I'm just saying, like, hey, making a dentist appointment for yourself, eating food for the day, even just getting out of bed. Like, those are accomplishments. Those are things that thousands, if not millions of people struggle with every single day to do. Accomplishments don't have to be this grand scheme of things. You don't have to become the president. You don't have to get the best job in the whole entire world. Sometimes accomplishments look like just waking up and enjoying your day in some way, shape, or form. I can guarantee you there are hundreds, if not thousands, of things you do each week that are a genuine struggle for millions of people. Imagine how useless those people feel because of the things that they're not able to do right now that you're able to do. We're all individual humans, and I feel like most mature people in the world can understand that. We're all individual humans forging our own paths of life. People who recognize that aren't gonna be like, "Oh, this guy is a fucking loser. Oh, he tripped on his own feet." No, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's different than me," and like move on with their day. So when you do find people who judge you for your shortcomings and mistakes, you really shouldn't pay them that much mind. I know, easier said than done, especially if you care about the opinions of other people. But why would you worry about other people's opinions when they can't even understand the whole point of having an individual conscience? They're not deserving of your worries. It's a lot of wasted breath and wasted tears for what? Some random dude who might think you're weird for a day or two. This is something that helped me. It might not help you, but life in general and your own social issues are 99% of the time insanely face value. Humans are only really complicated to themselves since we live with our own voice in our brain. Because you have to spend your life figuring out the things that you think and why you think them. Everyone is so busy figuring that out for themselves that they don't really care about you. It gets different when you add in like families and girlfriends, boyfriends, stuff like that. But to the average person, if you make a mistake, they're not gonna care. And if they do care, they're not gonna remember. So there's no use in worrying about it. You're not useless, and it's fine to make mistakes. That is one of the top, 5 lessons that you're gonna learn throughout life as you just keep living it. Maybe you'll learn it in your early 20s, late 30s. I don't know. But everyone learns it at some point in some way, shape, or form. You're gonna be fine, dude, and you're not useless. I don't know if I said that, but you're not useless. This is the only life you're ever gonna live. So grip it with an iron fist and don't let go. Do the things you want to do, make the mistakes you're gonna make, and just live. Live with no regrets, with no worries, and I promise you, you'll be fine. Thank you for your submission. I know I did a lot of rambling in this one. Some of it might not have made sense, and I don't really care. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm sorry. But you will get it one day, hopefully. Thanks for the submission, and peace.